This is Octane, a new ROMpler VST for iOS. But is it high octane or more two-stroke mixture? Let's find out. Alright, so what do you get with Octane? Well, it's a ROMpler, so as usual, you're getting pre-recorded instruments as samples. On the left side you have delay, reverb and a trance gate. All three of those basically do what you would expect them to do. Then here on the top we have the option to set glide, set the instrument to mono. On the right side we have a filter. Below in the middle you select the presets, and on the right side you can have some distortion or saturation, and there's a stereo imager right below. In the center where you select the presets, on the left side you have your packs, on the right side you have the presets for that pack, or in this case you see all of them, and on top you have a search bar where you can search for something. For example, let's search for bass. Then you will see everything that has bass in the name on the right side. Pretty neat. So now we are on the main tab now. If you switch to the layers tab, you will see that every sound can be built from two layers. Each layer can be enabled or disabled. Each layer also has the option to be set to reverse, which is also pretty neat. So you could have one sample going forward, the other one going backward. And you have a few more options like ring modulation, a tremolo, an arpeggiator, and of course the standard and ADSR envelope. The view is of course the same for layer 1 and layer 2. Then on the next tab you have a 6-band equalizer, also pretty handy. Then you have a dynamic section where you have an exciter, a compressor and an expander. And of course, last but not least, a lo-fi section where you can have some hiss, some wear and tear, a few crackles, flutter, a bit crusher, you know, the usual. So that's all pretty standard, but a little bit more options than a lot of ROMplers give you when you want to tweak the sound that it gives you. But to be quite frank, when I'm using a ROMpler, my main concern is that the sounds are pretty much usable out of the box. So what do you get for sound options? When you go to this tab on the top right where you see this little 6 with new sounds now, you are opening the store. So inside the store you have a lot of packs. Those packs are kind of diverse, but they are mostly oriented to more modern sounds. For example, on the top right you have your typical 808 sounds, a synthwave pack, future sounds, the Source, a new wave pack, industry standards, the gas pack, and those kinds of things. The 24K gold pack, I like that one pretty much. But there are also a few packs that are called, for example, the ethnic pack, where you have more ethnic sounds, etc, etc. What you can also see though, that this, since it's a ROMpler, it has the usual, let's call it ROMpler problem, especially on the iPad, which means that a lot of the packs are pretty large. For example, the Halloween pack is over a gigabyte in size, the 8-bit pack is also over a gigabyte. There are some smaller ones, for example the Future Sounds pack is only 130 megabytes, but overall all the packages together are pretty large. So I would say if you download everything, we are talking about 6 to 10 gigabytes in data, and they're pretty much releasing sounds every week or every 2 weeks or something like that. So for example, the synthwave pack that you see here on the left side, this wasn't here last week, and the new wave pack is already marked as coming soon. So they are releasing a lot of packs a lot of the time. Alright, so let's check out how those things sound. So I have loaded Octane now as an AUV3 because basically that's the most important part, right? The standalone version is nice, but mostly you will want to load this as an AUV3, either in a DAW or, for example, in this case in AUM. So what is nice here is that they optimized the interface for AUV3, so it's all separated into tabs now. What I found is that some of the tabs though have rather large buttons. For example, if I go here into Legato, the button is gigantic. It's not really a problem, but it's looking strange and pixelated a little bit. But I think that the idea to separate everything into tabs, what you have before, into a large view is pretty good. Also, what is kind of nice is that the whole UI is completely resizable. So if I make it larger, I can have more of the sample selector. And on the first tab, we have the preset selector. So the first thing that I selected is hard drum. You will instantly recognize that kind of sound. So I think this is enough for the overview of the sounds. I don't want to get too deep into it. If there is enough interest into how those packs sound, I can make reviews for specific packs, but you would have to tell me which ones. Okay, so let's discuss the elephant in the room. And I know this is not going to be wildly popular, and that is the payment model. The thing is, currently on iOS, this is subscription only, so you would have to get the Octane Plus subscription from the website. Now, as you might know, subscription models on iOS are wildly unpopular and pretty much universally hated. On Facebook, the developer said that they are going to add an option to buy the app though and get packs with inline app purchases. I guess this is going to be more popular. The question is though, for $3.99, is it worth it or not? I mean, there's a lot of content, but it's hard to say for your individual case it might be worth it or not. I guess most people will probably want to buy single packs and not a whole deal with a whole subscription model, etc, etc. Okay, so that's it for today. That was a short video about Octane. So what do you think? Tell me in the comments. Does it deserve some hype, or do you say subscription model boo? If you liked the video, remember to give it a thumbs up, maybe comment below and tell me what you think about Octane, and I hope to see you next time. Bye, have a good week.